I think that CV Max, I've been trying to figure him out for a really long time. I think the best way to describe what he does is he adapts really well series to series, but within a series, he fails to do so completely and utterly.
Yeah, and if you have a bad read in game one, if you have a bad read in game one and you run it back, it is where some of these upset losses come through. As we'll see Ashe Tristana taken away here. GENG not going to allow Bulldog to play one of his signature picks here. The Ashe makes a lot of sense. Rumble is taken away with the Nidalee here for Canyon.
Yep.
The one player where you definitely want to ban that Nidalee away.
Yeah, and we saw him wielding it in their previous series as well. And I was looking over the drafts. I'm like, after not watching GENG play for a little while, you go back and look at their drafts and you're like, why is Nidalee here? And then you see like it's a big fat W at the top of the screen. You're like, all right, well, I guess it works. So banning it away, I think, makes a lot of sense. Chovy's Lucian as well has been very, very strong, and that gives Ezreal to Pays. Somewhere there's Chronicler saying, yes!
Well, this is basically Kwangdong's way of saying, the Lucian ban is their way of saying Bulldog is playing Corki, and we are going to be playing an 80 mid in this game. As
ooh, is that Chovy's Ezreal? Imagine.
It could be.
It would be fun.
It would be fun. I'd love to see it. We're going to see Leaper go back to a little bit of comfort here on this Zeri.
Yep.
Love the Zeri and the Ezreal. The Corki is a must pick here. And Ivern's still available.
Maokai as well.
Maokai.
I kind of do like just slamming Ivern Jace.
Feels really easy here.
And then you can flex Jace between Kayn and Chovy, flex Ezreal between Pays and Chovy, or you pick Zyra and go that way. That is another one as well. Canyon definitely has his Zyra license.
That's definitely been the pick that he's loved to play the most when the Nidalee is taken away. They're actually just going to push Lehenz's Leona way up, though, in priority. They'll probably still get the Zyra here.
Yeah. As
there's so many picks that Chovy and King can play with their Master Champion pools. Other teams, you'd be like, well, that's an expensive choice to bring the Leona up here. But for GENG, this means they're pretty confident in how their bottom lane is going to go.
And the jungle and top lane matchups are going to get absolutely obliterated as well. Because, like, one of them, whichever one they don't pick, is going to be really struggling. Bottom lane and jungle now locked in for GENG, in theory. And now you can see, cuz, like, please, let's not allow them to ban all of my champions. So the Ivern is going to be picked for him, perhaps.
The Ivern. The Ivern.
Yeah, I think it might
That's
be
not
the
right AP champion.
I think that perhaps AP Shyvana is going to be the way to do it. Breathing fire on the plants.
Block in the Rakan here because the Leona is already shown face up. And even though in the past it's been a pretty strong matchup for the Leona and it's considered a soft counter, Rakan has been doing pretty well into Leona, especially when you have follow-up engage or set up for the Rakan. We don't know what that's going to look like just yet, but they will take away Chovy's Yone.
This also means, this also means that GENG has to sort of split the bans between jungle and top, but I don't know. I think I would have probably tried to shore up a jungle matchup at least, but not wanting to show their hand, I guess, completely, wanting to lock away that bot lane that I guess Quantum Freaks are comfortable with.
I do think that there was a possibility, instead of locking the Corki, that you could have tried to... I mean, you could have not locked Zeri at that moment, maybe gone Ziggs or something like that. Could have been quite interesting. I'm just thinking about different angles that Kwangdong could have done because this is starting to feel pretty scary. The Jace that we've spent a lot of time talking about here, about how flexible it is a very strong ban. Same with the Yone, can technically be flexed.
Renekton?
Yeah, definitely looks like a pretty good angle, especially with the Gnar ban here.
What is Kane's choice into the Renekton, though? Because I think it's almost a guaranteed doo-doo pick here, right?
I mean, it feels insanely powerful. I mean, GP has been a pick that Keen has played into the Renekton and felt pretty good.
Echo, of course.
I don't know about that one, but it is interesting. It is AP.
Oh,
it is Zac. Okay, very tough to lock down an Ezreal with this pick, however.
This is one of Cuz's old favorites.
Yeah, that's very true.
Of course, likely going to be a top lane pick as well. We have seen it there more recently, but I do want to remind everyone that Cuz kind of debuted at a time where, you know, he started playing Zac before many others. That's Draven.
That
means
mid.
that Ezreal mid is coming on through. A big giggle coming out from Bulldog here as well, as we're going to have a Trinity Force off. That's a bit fun.
It is going to be fun to see how the Draven does into the Rakan Zeri lane, because that is so much power down there. It really hurts the Rakan pick quite significantly, because if you get stunned by the Leona and the Draven is autoing you, it hurts a lot more than when the Ezreal is autoing you. Yes, Ezreal has a Mystic Shot, so very strong on this patch. The Cassante does kind of feel like it locks the Zac into the top lane. That's kind of been the counter lane for, or the reason why Zac is picked as a counter to Cassante in the top lane most of the time. However,
the Dudu Aatrox, and this is a pick that he has single-handedly won a game on. Some of his flank angles have been phenomenal, and the Aatrox is something that he's piloted very, very well. I do like the amount of comfort here for Kwangdong Freaks.
Chovy as Raven mid?
Oh, okay. Are we doing that thing where we just play every single AD carry in the mid lane? Is that what's happening here, Chovy? Is that what we're doing?
Really not what I expected, but it is great in terms of the trading against the Corki. It's the same reason why Lucian is strong into Corki, because he has that really nice trading pattern, and once the Gatling gun is down, you just kind of harass and push in and use the Lucian passive to double pap that Corki in the face. The Draven is going to be quite good with his early base AD stats at doing a similar thing.
Yeah, there's also the fact that Whirling Death, True Shot Barrage together means that wherever you're standing, if you get stunned or snared, and then 2 global ultimates fly over the top of you, I mean, the amount of, like, cash-ins that Chovy might be able to just orchestrate for himself sounds a bit scary.
Got to make sure that, you know, the True Shot Barrage is timed correctly so that the kill goes to the Draven. You know, it's very tricky.
That's very true. That is very true.
It's very interesting to see how this is going to shake out. I really, in my head, I was like, oh, Ezreal is mid. We've seen that in other comps. That's definitely what's happening. It didn't occur to me until we didn't see the swap come through that the Draven actually could be a fantastic counter here to the Corki, similar to Lucian. It's only about that laning phase and how well Chovy plays this, but they banned the Lucian away. Chovy had an answer.
Yeah, he certainly did. And let's see whether it works out. Playing Draven into Zac does not sound like very much fun to me, but it's Chovy. So let's see what happens.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
And to go back to the point, we do need to have a look down the roster, right? So what is going to make Draven's time difficult? I think, you know, Rakan, he can definitely get on top of a Draven without cleanse. Zac, big problem. If you close the distance with an Aatrox, then maybe it's going to be an issue.
That's one of the things about Draven mid is that he's much more gankable than he is in the bottom lane. So you really need to have constant control and a lot of vigilance from Canyon in order to make sure that doesn't happen, because that's how you lose your adoration stacks. The counter argument, though, is with mid crashing faster and having more money and more minions, that means more adoration stacks, and you build them faster as well. So
shorter lane as well, so you are inherently safer in mid. So that's I kind of like the vibe. You also get to, you know, scale your spinning axes more, and of course, like, the thing about mid lane is you get more levels. The thing about bottom lane is less levels, but you can get all of that money, extra safety in the early game with having a partner. As Chovy, you're going to start spinning the axe and then walks over to Bulldog and starts throwing them at him.
Yeah, Bulldog is not going to enjoy being auto-attacked by the Draven.
No. Well, Lehens has already flashed on top of Leaper, who is taken down to about 300 health. Welcome to GENG versus Kwangdong Freaks, everyone.
Welcome to Ezreal lanes. Ezreal Leona, so oppressive. Look at this win rate for both of these players. It's not about the 0 Ls, it's just how many games they played of it already.
Wow, I can't believe Keen lost a game on Cassante.
Wow.
It's so disappointing. They've got 1 L, by the way, guys, on any champion. There's only 1 game that they've lost. This is the first Draven mid game that we've had in the LCK.
And it might be the last.
It might. All right, there's the Zenith Blade. Lehen's doing some barrel stuff, picking up some turret shots, as Pays just trying to follow up with these Mystics. And yeah, Chovy has flash, and Bulldog is almost in like 1 spinning axe to kill range. And we're going to get that zoom in. Chovy looks for it. There's 1.
Yeah, and Bulldog now might just have to back. Like, if he gets flashed on, he just dies. If he doesn't perfectly react, Chovy actually has all the power here.
And if you start lining up the auto, like, it goes off. So if he is in auto range, then he definitely needs to just get out of there.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he's going to back. That's going to be TP down for Bulldog. Will cost him a little bit of farm. He's already down significantly down here with the play from the Hens and the health trade early. And the constant poke from Pays. Yes, Quantum's back up to full, and his Qs will offer some sustain, but this is a rough time for Leaper.
Oh, wow, yeah. Lehens coming on over. Canyon down here as well. Good Ward is going to spot the fact that Canyon's in the area, but the Sweeper is going to get rid of it. And will Leaper and Quantum be able to keep themselves alive? That's the question. Or will this blue buff be kept alive also? As Cuz I think realizing that it's going to be quite difficult for him to actually get on in here. Ward goes down, Cuz sees it. And Bulldog, he's rotating in as well. Gets the secure of the blue as Canyon now going to have to be forced to flash out. Didn't have the grasping roots, I guess. As he didn't follow up with that one. Oh my, okay, Lehens, if you had have landed that, I don't know whether that's what you wanted.
Yeah, he might have been sent to game 2.
Yeah.
A plate does go over. It looks like solo here to Pays during the interim, so that is going to be a lot of money in his pocket. And yes, the Zarya has maintained, you know, decent CS parity considering what happened with that flash play from Lehens, but the plate gold stacking up here. A little bit of extra ability haste for Pays picked up with the extra money he has. Is going to feel nice, and then he's going to continue to put that pressure on. The boot spy for Leaper will at least help him try to dodge some of those Qs, but not a great start.
Oh yeah, Keen's in trouble. Does manage to push Dudu back, but has to flash still. Cuz good first gank on this Zac, as you can see. Certainly still got it.
Yeah, while Zac shows topside, Chovy is ready to throw some more axes, and it doesn't get better, by the way. As he gets a longsword, you get a ward.
3 points in Q is actually just so painful.
It hurts so much, and when you have the refillable pot, it really just gives you like one more axe worth of damage, and then you're like, well, I'm still losing. And Chovy's like, well, I'm still winning.
Yeah, and he takes turret shot and also like cares even less.
Yeah.
All right, Cuz is going to jump on top of Canyon here. Finds himself the stretch Armstrong as well. Still Canyon able to stand his ground. Plans coming in. Dudu on a ward right now as Canyon, remember, doesn't have flash available. Grasping Roots is going to stop them both. I don't know how that one hit Cuz. Didn't know Grasping Roots was that wide, and I play Zyra all the time.
Yeah, well, if you're really good at Zyra, like Canyon is, can make it happen.
All right, speaking of making it happen, Lehens going in once again. Quantum going to have to get out of there, but there's the Arcane Shift forward. Grand entrance, and okay, Pays. Quantum, one more auto attack, and that's going to be first blood going over to the Ezreal. There's a Zenith Blade, and Lehens is going to lock down the second. A 2v2 double here for GENG.
Not only does Leaper make the mistake of thinking he can go back in there and win that, risk judging Lehens' cooldowns, but also flashes and cleanses, so he's now even more vulnerable when the follow-up comes through when he returns to lane. So big mistake there from Leaper, getting nervous, I suppose.
Oh, Canyon
He's
going to be able to steal this away. This is level 6 to level 4. Oh my, you were talking about the Jungle Wolf. That's so silly.
And Chovy also, you know, you saw how that 2v2 looked when Dudu, came over. Chovy's like, I do so much damage. Okay, what?
Cuz? Remember, he does have the Bloblets. Well, he is also not going to have to use them just yet. Able to pick up a whole bunch of extra things that he left strewn on the ground. And Canyon still, I mean, everything is still fine here for Canyon, of course, but not going to lose out on his cell division.
He's going to push Cuz out of the jungle, though. We'll have to back. He's got his cooldown boots now and a crystal, but that's all he's got. Chovy is sitting on that Vamp Scepter, and so trading back is not an option anymore for Bulldog, who's getting further zoned out of farm. And because Cuz is level 4, if he comes over and try to gank Chovy, what am I saying?
Jank Chovy.
Yes. If he tries to come over and gank Chovy, then he just dies, actually. He's level 4, and Chovy just kind of kites back and is like, well, there's your passive gone.
Not to mention, and I didn't even think about this, and I feel dumb for it, but Stand Aside is an incredible interrupt for Elastic Slingshot.
Yeah.
And good. I don't know why I didn't figure that out, but it's kind of genius having access to that ability when there's a theoretical Zac that could come on over. It just stops any sort of engage potential.
It's so easy if played well, and
oh man, more plates and grubs just being picked up.
I don't think this Zac pick, I mean, I kind of alluded to this in the draft, but it's hard to lock down the Draven, it's hard to lock down the Ezreal especially, and then
but killing Cassante is really easy.
Sure, and if you're losing all of your lanes, you can't really go anywhere anyways. Yeah, this is a nice attempt here by the Rakan to block the Qs, but he can't block the autos as it turns out. And then this play here was a real rough one.
Yeah, the flash cleanse from the grave situation is not great, but we're going to go back to live as Pays is going to get a second. I'm pretty sure we just saw that in the replay, and it happened again.
Yeah, this time on to Quantum, and yeah, you know, I've been on the space a lot for these games.
Yeah,
and then I see the classic chronicler. Take it away, Valdez. You know, I'm like,
yeah.
or the or Valdez saying, take it away, Chronicler, rather.
I don't want to take it away. I don't want to take it. Yeah. I need you to stay, okay? I need help.
I don't know if there's a way out. Now, the good news is Chovy hasn't gotten any kills yet. He has a lot of stacks, and he has a lot of CS advantage. So it could be worse, you know? It could be worse.
True. His kill participation is also getting hammered by this.
Yeah, it's super low in this one.
Yeah, it's really low. All right, let's see whether the stand aside is going to work. And Cuz is like, oh yeah, dumb ability, I guess I'll leave. Of course, Chovy was out of range. That's just my little head narrative that isn't actually correct. As Bulldog is at least still able to farm somewhat, but he's 30 behind.
Chovy is doing this basically on his Vamp Scepter and his base AD stats alone. And it has been a while since Bulldog is back, but he hasn't backed yet either. He will be huge when he gets back. That was like the one chance I feel like Cuz had to maybe do something there. As even if the stand aside is there, maybe Bulldog's damage is enough. You hit him with the slingshot, or rather the
I feel like
flop.
Everyone's playing League of Legends while Canyon's playing like Elden Ring or something like that. You know, just going around and killing monsters and stuff. There's the stand aside. And flash out from Chovy, so still has to use that. But we do at least demonstrate the power of that particular ability, being able to press E.
Yeah,
okay, bit of a punishment here as the ulti from Leaper does come on through. Good barrier timing here from Pays, though, to mitigate that damage. And Lahen's back just in the nick of time.
But now you've made Bulldog's life worse because Chovy backed and he has items now. He picked up a BF sword.
Oh dear.
This is unfortunately Quantum trying to check the river and just walks into Leona and dies. This is part of the reason why people say that Rakan is a little bit weak into Leona. It makes it hard for him to escape when she stuns him and then launches him a second time. Chovy has that BF sword, so Bulldog will also back. Let's see what he is able to buy. A tier and a sheen.
Honestly, the steel caps feel like a pretty good buy here as well, as now Cuz making his way back in once again, but Lahen's is here as well. Chovy not even going to need to press any buttons, and Cuz just turns up and takes an axe to the back of the head. He's going to vacate.
Going to set up a lane swap up here to the top lane as well, and this is a very scary moment for Dudu if he does not react. His teleport's coming back online. He's going to back out, so this back timing is going to allow him to be safe from death, although you can see Lahen's on the minimap is actually trying to find him and stop his back. Is unsuccessful. That's just going to be the lane swap. Look at the wards they have, too, on Raptors and Krugs, so they know exactly where Cuz is, which is not topside, so they can actually push this lane during Dudu's walk back here pretty hard and grab some additional plate gold. With this wave coming through and Ezreal's W, should be able to secure at least one here, and they know that Cuz isn't coming up because they have that important vision.
Yeah, and with 3 grubs as well, able to get a whole bunch of extra damage, and okay.
Make that 6.
Yeah, there's even more grubs, and I keep getting distracted by the fact that, you know, Lahen's and Pays are picking up duo kills and catching Quantum out, and then Chovy's playing Draven, and that's crazy. And then we look at Keen for some reason as the drive-by smite almost coming on through here for Cuz, not going to be able to secure it as this Strangle Thorns has really buffed up these minions, and okay, Bulldog taking a lot of damage from the Whirling Death. Canyon still alive, the quickness comes down, Arcane Shift as Pays gets rid of Bulldog and is going to be able to kill him even from over the wall. Dudu, he's trying to end the world, but I think it's his world that's in trouble, and Lahen's just looking for that Zenith Blade angle. He's going to be able to get on in there, and that's a Q landing from Canyon. Canyon now 1-0-1. He's already had his Leandry's completed. That's probably some Sork shoes and maybe a turret, as they have 6 grubs now.
Yeah, it is probably just going to be all the plates here, and then maybe they'll swap back bottom and see if they can get all the plates that are remaining there as well. As it does, I mean, I don't think they will, but it's actually crazy what he's able to do. Now, Chovy has a Bloodthirster at 12.5 minutes, and that means that he can also start building up a shield and is even tougher to trade into for the Corki now. The Aatrox, forget about it.
Forget about it.
And if he gets engaged on by Rakan, he just like 2-shots the Rakan. I don't know. I don't know, Atlas. This is like the saddest thing, okay? Cuz it's like, I'm gonna get one! And then Canyon just ults and walks away, and then Quantum is actually unable to really do anything here. He gets the knock-up, and then this is that combo you were talking about with the Whirling Death and the True Shot Barrages. Canyon may die.
Yeah,
right?
Canyon down to 50 health.
They got one!
Cuz is able to pick it up, and I was just about to say that GENG were on track for a perfect game, and that is all over now.
Oh.
So there you go.
That's all we had. That's all we had. But at least Kwangdong got one. I don't know what happened to lead up to that, but we'll get the replay.
Well, what if they also manage to? Okay, I'll hold that thought. Is Chovy going to cash in?
Okay, but
and
wait.
Pace gets 1-2.
Maybe is it the full 15 plates angle? Oh no, that's not.
No, not quite. We've got 25 seconds. Dudu is also able to take some plates here towards the top side.
I asked or co-streamed a Challengers game where they almost got 15 plates, or like 2 hours away, and they could have flashed for it, but they were like, nah, I don't want to flash for that. Oh, they played 15 plates!
Yeah, it would have been really
All right, so
cool.
we'll watch this again. The main thing here is that he gets pulled back by Cuz, and then that's that. Okay, this was pretty self-explanatory. Bulldog's damage here quite important. I thought we were going to
flash as well.
I thought we were going to replay the fight earlier where we had the True Shot Barrage and the Whirling Death. But
no, I think we did that already.
Yeah, we kind of got to most of that one. This is just burst damage layered here with, again, True Shot Barrage, Whirling Death, and CC. It feels nice. That's what he said. It feels good. Feels good to see that one, and that was satisfying.
It was just chilling out because he was playing the game prior to that. Had a little bit of a rest in the Death Chamber, and just got to watch his team pick up a couple of extra kills. As Keen just doing some wandering away, getting some attention that he wouldn't really like. It's an 8,000 gold lead.
Yeah, at 1440. Oh, it's really like 7,600.
Well, Keen is now looking for Bulldog. He's going to dash after him, does get the Valkyrie out. That means that he's not going to be able to quite catch up.
It's only a 7,500.
Oh, I take it all back. Yeah, no, it's fine.
And it's bounties available earlier than usual, so there's always some comeback potential, Atlas.
True.
Draven did get the cash in, so that's a bit of a problem, but they are down 2 dragons and 6 grubs.
Chovy playing a champion that you get a benefit from farming a lot that seems not okay.
So he was able to get a 2,100 gold advantage over Bulldog. He's sitting on a few extra stacks after that kill, so it could be getting up to 100 bonus gold right now.
Yep.
That's going to grow, as he is going to get the turret bottom lane, so more money. He's trying to figure out how much money. He's like, aiming Gold King, not this time.
And he's looking for IE second, and that's going to be a massive amount of extra money.
He's just going to kill this turret. Like,
yeah, this inner should just be dead.
Yeah, they're losing some stuff cross map, but as it turns out, they're getting closer to winning the game. It's kind of a speed run.
Well, now Leaper is in trouble. Going to have to fly across that very short wall, but this is a second inner. So they managed to get out of turret in the top lane. That's all Quantum Freaks were able to pick up for themselves. And is Cuz moving over. Lehens is pretty tanky, but Pays trying to get himself out of the way of Cuz here as in goes Quantum, looking for Pays with that quickness, but he's a little bit overextended, and he's still going to die. The axe traveled so incredibly far, and now Dudu looking for that angle, looking for the opportunity. Cuz goes in with almost no health. He'll be down to the bloblets in a few moments, and Lehens still just kiting it out. Chovy 1 versus 3 just walking after them, saying, you aren't going anywhere. And Bulldog, he realizes that there is nothing that he can do. He's just going to be more food for the Draven. And Lehens.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's all right. It's all right. Lehens, give him a chance. Give him a chance. You know, you can have one freebie. That one's gonna get dodged as they get both mid and
no. Depth. Okay, Leaper is not quite there. Oh, it comes back. Yeah, it's all right.
So they got both the.
Look at Chovy's face as well. He was having a giggle.
Oh, he certainly was, and he had this like sheepish look on his face after he got the 3rd kill. He was like, "Oh, what could I have gotten? Some like minions and got some stacks in between the 2nd and 3rd kill. It's really not efficient for me to pick up a double in this fight." Yeah, the Zac value is I'm not feeling it in this one. They're massively behind, so in situations like this, it looks obviously even sillier. But look at Lehens just press eclipse and stand in front of 3 people while Chovy just 2-shots people in this fight. It's insane. As Leaper's in trouble.
Yeah, and Lehens is running really fast. That was pretty cool. As Leaper's really dead, Chovy's going to cash in again. Like you say, inefficient, but sometimes you just can't help it. You're just killing everyone. That's kind of how it is. Infinity Edge is done. 4-0-2 for the Draven. Is it the greatest mid pick of all time? I don't know.
It does seem like
Probably
a
not.
counter to Corki, but I think it's really just a Chovy exclusive. We have a lot of those.
We explained that some champions are win more champions, and Chovy by default wins. So I think it is like a good champion for him.
Is Cassante a counter to Talia? If it's Chovy, the answer is yes. You know, like
Oh god, I remember that.
yeah, that was in the finals. Yeah, Quantum.
He is quicknessing.
He
팀의 포탑이
The plant made him do slowness immediately after.
This is real. This is real.
Yeah,
And
this
it hurts, and this is not what you want to see as Kwangdong in this first game. I mean, it's a rough time. I don't know how else to put it. It's hard to cast. It's hard to watch.
It is. We've got Cuz in the bottom lane, finally making his way back to try and defend. But I think Kwangdong Freaks, I mean, I think they know sort of the state of this. And it's probably a bit of a foregone conclusion. Quantum takes so much damage as Chovy just walks towards Bulldog and Quantum and Leaper. Some more of these going down as Whirling Death connects onto Bulldog. It doesn't do very much damage because he just doesn't have very many stacks. Too many kills, Chovy. Maybe it's not his champion after all. As Pays chasing down Dudu, not going to be able to find a flank here as Solar Flare comes in. True Shot Barrage goes down. Keen is able to get himself a kill in this game as well. And GENG, with these minion waves starting to stack up, they're going to get to work on these Nexus turrets. This was utter domination. We need a word more than shellacking because this was not close at any stage at all as Canyon just dies to the turret. Almost seemed like he didn't even know he was getting hit by it as Bulldog is at least able to get that one back. This is 19.5 minutes in the game. So it is kind of hard to finish it off as Pays flashing, finds that last auto, and the burn from the red buff is enough to get it. That was pretty sexy. 7-0 and 6 Pays on this Ezreal, by the way. I think, yeah, I saw you just put in the POG vote. I think I know which direction it's going.
I mean,
The Draven's cool and all.
yeah. I mean, don't show it to me again. It's just a lot of CC and a lot of big damage on 280 carries who are massively fed. There's just nothing even really to say here. Like, Lehens just has free reign. Like, the inhibitor is down pre-20. They're just walking into the base and taking names. And there's just, they can do no wrong. They have a great comp. They have a huge lead.
Canyon did tank the turret 7 times or something and died.
Yeah, I mean, Canyon was the victim of this game for GENG. I was spending the last few minutes trying to figure out like a term we can have for what this means that's related to GENG.
Oh, that was sick though.
Yeah, that was clean. Calculated red buff there.
I looked down though, and like he's sitting on like 2.2k gold.
He's not even at his. He wasn't at his full form. Now he's got a Shojin's.
Oh, okay. And they also have Baron. That was what was taken while we were checking out some of these replays.
They were a little bit annoyed they weren't able to break the fastest game record, so now they're just going to do it as fast as they can.
This is going to be the record, right? If they finish it within like 3 minutes or something like that. I think that it is sort of in front of
20 minutes was the fastest.
20 minutes. Never mind. So not going to quite get there. But still, it is a pretty fast game. Quantum Freaks looking to try and desperately defend, but there's the Stranglethorns. They're going to get the knock up onto Cuz. He's out of there. He ain't tanking anything right now. Solar Flare going to connect perfectly onto Bulldog. They all pile in. That is going to be Lehens sacrificed, but I mean, which game isn't a game with Lehens getting sacrificed as Leaper now just really struggling. There are piles of minions there as Dudu being treated like a ragdoll. Chovy gonna cash in again. The last Nexus turret will be going down though. Let's bounce, says Cuz, and he is gonna bounce from this game as GENG will clean out the Nexus. And it's not looking like the GENG slump is happening anytime soon, Wolf.
I don't think so. I don't think so. To call that a game of League of Legends feels dishonest. To call that a professional game feels dishonest. It was just GENG with, by the way, a champion we have never seen played in the mid lane, a new Corki counter. They bait the Corki out. They pull out the Draven answer. It looks fantastic. The Zac pick just didn't hit. He wasn't able to stop Chovy in the mid lane. Chovy got so big so fast, even without a very early cashing or anything like that, just from his lane advantage, from his plates, push the Corki out. Cuz can't, he can't jump on an Ezreal. He can't jump on a Draven. He can't gank a Cassante. And I feel like the Zac just didn't really belong in this composition. Let's take a look at the numbers. Pays wins in total damage here. But I feel like the fact that they can both just layer their ultimates on top of Lehens' CC over and over and over again with Canyon's ult, sometimes in the mix, sometimes not. It was a cool comp. It actually seems viable even against strong teams, but Kwangdong did not look like one in this first game.
Yeah, and Canyon did more damage than anyone on Kwangdong Freaks, but couldn't do half of what Chovy or Pays did. So that's just, that's the state of the game. We're going to go to a short break. When we get back, Space is going to break it down, and we'll have game number 2. See you there.
아, 잠깐 보고 있어. 이거 볼게. 오케이. 바비. 타워 쳐도 돼. 타워 쳐도 돼. 다 풀어낼게. 나 묶었다. 오케이. 나까 집 갔어. 이거 아래 타워. 그렇게. 빨리지 말고. 우리 두 분 노플이다. 타워 쳐. 얘들아 타워 쳐. 그냥 천천히 하면 되지. 천천히 하면 돼. 뒤에 묶었어. 아트. 빨리 잡을만한데? 다크 스플이 잘 맞았어.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, Atlas, because
The response was just actually
CVMax was
perfect.
pretty heated in the coaching booth, but and I'm no coach, but if it were me, I'd be like, all right, boys, let's just try our best. Like, you know, they either have a really sick plan than to do something unorthodox, like what Ox said. And they did kind of do something unorthodox in the first game with the Zac, but it just didn't work out. And the more unorthodox thing was just playing Draven mid and crushing it. And they took that away from Kwangdong as well. Same ban on the Nidalee, but this time they add the Zyra, which I do think is wise here, into Canyon. Tristana taken away. Rumble has to be banned on red side. That's a given. We'll see what this final ban is going to be here for GENG, as Leaper, I think, would be happy to first pick Ezreal if that's left open.
Yep, I would agree. I think that, you know, he's already proven his proficiency on that champion already, as LeBlanc going to be banned away. We did see this in our previous series. Of course, Showmaker piloting the LeBlanc very, very well. Of course, Chovy can play it also, but kind of comes out of left field just a little, as maybe that gives away what one of these mid lane picks is going to be.
It just feels like they're setting up for, if you ban the Sejuani here, we just go Ezreal first pick, or the Renekton. You go Ezreal first pick, and then if they go Corki, you have the Lucian. This time it's available. So maybe that's the angle here. Kwangdong Freaks are just feeling confident that they can put Bulldog in a position to have the counter matchup into Chovy's Corki if he opts into it. And then you're just saying with the LeBlanc ban that you probably have to play Corki. You don't get to play a fun pick. That's the hope, I guess, on the CVMax camp.
I guess could be an option, theoretically, is there is the Zeri, other side of the matchup here for Pays if he wants to go for it. I wonder whether they do, once again, just very highly prioritize the Leona, because Lehens was very good at it in the last game, but instead it's going to be Canyon on the Sejuani.
Could have gone for the Ashe Sejuani if they were going to lock this Sejuani in. They did not feel comfortable.
Aurora seems like the choice here in the jungle. For Elyordian as well, you know, Boar versus Bunny.
It does seem to be globally banned, though, Atlas, so I don't...
What gives you that impression?
The...
the globally banned
It says
thing.
banned right there above match 58, and in Korean it says the use of this champion is banned.
Oh.
Directly translated. It turns out they're going to pick Leona again with the Ezreal.
Huh. Well,
now, if it's
I've heard this is good, and that's a poppy.
If it's a Rakan lock in here, I will be very concerned.
Everything is bad about the Rakan lock-in if it does come through.
I will...
Oh, God, Lahans, please, no.
Um,
Like anything else.
But it is very fun to see what GENG will do with this duo because they can prove that it is playable and actually, like, it's so respectful as well to be like, yeah, you know what? Actually, you guys' draft wasn't that. We're just better than you.
I don't think it's respectful at all. I think that's what.
You think it's a little grief? You think it's,
I think
it's a wrong choice?
I think you should try to
it has
do something that's
permafrost,
good.
synergy, Atlas.
Yeah, right. But it doesn't have like I can go through Poppy at all synergy.
It's like it's not in isolation. I don't like it, but it is going to be fun to see how the 2v2 goes. Because
I do like hearing you positive.
Yeah, no,
I like that part.
You know, I'm trying. I got another coffee, and it's not helping yet. But Azir is going to be taken away from Bulldog here, which, you know, with the pool thinned out as it is, I think this is pretty wise.
Yep.
Corki is still available, which is he's going pretty deep down the priority in this draft.
I'm still reeling, man. Picking Rakan there is so weird. But it's also probably not going to get punished, right? I don't know. It's wacky. Okay, Yone going to be the ban here. And one more to be taken away by GENG. Do we turn our eyes towards the top lane? Do we try to allow Kane to play something fun?
The Gnar is still available at the moment. Renekton's gone, obviously, so doesn't feel as necessary. The Cassante matchup is good for the Gnar, but that could be something that Kwangno Freaks try to go for here. Lucian banned, so looking like it's probably going to be traded for Corki. And then Chovy's got something planned. We'll see what it is. You know, Malzahar sounds fun.
Oh, Malzahar does sound fun. You're also not wrecked by Poppy playing Malzahar because he has no mobility.
Yeah,
I like that. Is it just a Corki ban? I actually think Corki probably should be banned here.
Yeah,
and there it is.
It just has to be. Like, you trade the Lucian for that, that's fine. But Chovy's like, well, next to Faker, I think I have the biggest list of things that I play well. I just played the first debut Draven. Let's see what his plan is going to be. They can save counterpick for him as well and just grab Gnar for Keen and be like, we win that lane, then we win the top lane. Or you can grab the Kennen instead, which also feels pretty safe, blindable.
Yep, I like Kenny. Because, of course, the Poppy is a flex, and it's even more of a flex on Kwangdong because Dudu has played it more than most other top laners, I'm pretty sure, here in the LCK. So, an understandable one. That's Sion. I hope Leaper is just hovering that, just hearkening back to the
wait, hold on. Sion, Senna with Ezreal mid?
And Leona somewhere.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's just going to be Gnar. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. They're expecting the Gnar. The Kennen feels safe into this. So you already have the preset blind, strong range top champion here for Keen, and then whatever this pick is going to be, Chovy will have an answer to. Is he just going to lock Hui? Is it going to be a scaling mid pick? I mean, that's the thing. You know, we were talking about how do you play to Kwangdong style. Their style normally was a strong
Aurelion
duo,
Soul,
and then a scaling pick like Aurelion Soul.
Ziggs, that fits.
But it's blind, so that's a little bit concerning.
Could be countering Ziggs isn't easy, I guess.
True. Let's see what Chovy's answer is going to be, because this will be really the first time Ziggs has been blinded here in a very long time in the LCK.
They have a bit of experience. I'm pretty sure that they beat D+ when Showmaker played the Ziggs in Game 3.
Yeah, I think that was Azir. Aha.
Right. Yeah, just pick an 80 carry, I guess. Fair enough, Chovy. Fair enough. He's like, oh, that's a long-range mage? Well, I can do long-range 80 or short-range 80 carry if he's just going to play Zeri.
It's going to be Zeri. Yeah, I don't think you want to play Jhin mid. Fairly vulnerable, even though it is the short lane. Still can be having some problems there, and can also just be, because you don't really have the opportunity to trade with Ziggs, just eventually chunked out. The Zeri will be able to actually, use her attack speed and try to potentially all-in the Ziggs. There's some stuff the Zeri could do there. To be our second mid Zeri, it was Bulldog, I believe, actually the first to play it mid ever in the LCK, and now Chovy is going to play it against him.
I wanted the Jhin. That was going to be more fun. Well, I didn't want the Jhin. I wanted the Jhin to be played mid instead of bot lane.
We were talking about the beverage. I understand now.
Yes, yes. To be perfectly honest, I take it. I take it over watching what happened to Kwangdong Freaks again. It was pretty painful in game number 1. Let's hope that they can utilize this draft to get themselves to at least a playable position in this game. That's what we want to see.
I do think that there's a lot of good things about this composition for Kwangdong Freaks. It's a real comp. It's got a lot of poke. It's got a lot of power around objectives with the Poppy. GENG is the far stronger team, so it's hard to analyze, but I did like the safe Gnar into swapping Chovy into the Zeri mid. A clean draft here for GENG as well, but less classic.
Yeah, and also less range. They shouldn't be able to necessarily play in the neutral all that well, but it's GENG, so who knows? Let's jump into the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Onto the Rift for game number 2. As Chovy going to be trying his hand at the Zeri mid. Bulldog playing the right skin. Pretty sure Orcs has an account where he only plays Pool Party Ziggs. I'm pretty sure. So I think Orcs would be pretty happy. It's not his birthday anymore. That was yesterday, so it's a really long time before his birthday.
It's very appropriate to play this skin in summer, though.
Yeah, very true.
If you do it in LCK Spring, it doesn't feel as...
Yeah.
It's still a good skin, but it doesn't feel as poignant.
Imagine if you were playing it in winter when we used to have a winter season.
Yeah.
Phew, absolutely illegal.
The pool's got the cover on it, and Ziggs is just having a sad time.
Yep.
Though his water balloons turn into ice balloons, you know.
That would hurt more.
Yeah.
Less explodey.
Less splash damage.
Yeah. But it would do more single target, you could imagine. As all right, Chovy now going to do the same thing where he just walks up this little pathway after warding and just fights the enemy mid laner from behind the wave.
Yeah, I mean, Bulldog has an empowered auto, so that's what he's got. Chovy's otherwise going to win this one.
Oh. He's going to find the empowered auto attack because these minions are getting frustrating. Chovy using the barrier very early.
Yeah, this looks like a pick that Chovy is not that experienced on, just based on that. But it's his 61st unique pick, so we'll let it slide. Yeah, I think we can let it slide. We're giving him a little bit of a golf clap here as he loses the trade somewhat. Has eaten his potion though, so he should be fine. And still has control of the wave. We'll continue pushing things in. It is a fun champion to farm on, and of course we know that Chovy just really likes farming, so... He does like to farm a lot, and, you know, after you get through these first levels, it's going to be a little bit more annoying to deal with, and he does have that all-in level 6. Oh, somehow that bouncing bomb missed? That's rude. Chovy, because he went barrier, does not have teleport, by the way, and nearly has his backs. Okay, backstopped the second time. And Bulldog is feeling pretty good about this. And when we saw the Zeri, I was like, okay, well, this should be fine once you hit 6. But I didn't think it was going to be as much of a struggle for Chovy this early on into the Ziggs matchup. But that empowered auto does hurt pretty hard. Utilizing the minions very well to block some of Zeri's Q damage was pretty clean. He does indeed have a short fuse as Pei's trying to walk this one off. You can see Lehen's bouncing around the lane. Will absorb most of the damage from Leaper. It is a little bit sad that we didn't get the exact same lane rematch with Pei's on the Ezreal to see how that one would go. Because now you have all the caveats of what Jin does, his damage, and you know, his range, and how he operates as an AD carry. So we don't get to talk about, like, could Rakan Zeri actually beat this Leona lane? As Bulldog still has his teleport, still hasn't backed. So Chovy has the health advantage for now and was only able to pick up a ward and a refillable. So Bulldog is still feeling very comfortable. Yep. Well, Bulldog is a player who plays a lot of eclectic mid picks. I am, not surprised to see him play the Ziggs here once more. He certainly fits the Kwangdong Freaks vibe, where they do like to do things a little bit differently. As Deadly Flourish going to connect, and Pei's going to have to cleanse pretty early on in this one. There it is. All right, 2 summoners down. The heal expended as well by Lehen's. Yeah, nicely done. Quantum actually holding on to his Ignite as well. Now looking for a rotation over. Canyon going to discover him as Lehens comes in, finds the grand entrance. Permafrost, and that's first blood. Oh, man. All of that good work. Yeah, it's all just washed away now. And it's Canyon. And he had a lot of vision in the river. And Chovy is starting to get back control of this lane. Bulldog still hasn't backed yet. Oh, man, they should have given him the Zyra. Then he would have been busy farming. Oh, disaster. He was very aggressively ganking instead. And unfortunately, Cuz was nowhere to be seen on the play. Is, speaking of farming, doing just that here, but hasn't been really involved. Took his first back as well. And we're getting closer to level 6 for Chovy. He does not have a lot of mana, but has his barrier back, so we'll see Bulldog back, see if Chovy wants to match that and buy a real item, not just a you know, a bunch of soup or whatever's in that refillable.
Yeah, not quite the best first buy, as we did see. This minion wave sort of just balanced in the mid lane right now, as Cuz going to move on over and try to just dissuade Chovy from going home. So the back timings have been kind of messed up for this Zeri so far. It is going to put Chovy in a rough spot. Well, let's have a look at this one once again. Pretty good position for Canyon.
Quantum just wants to clear that ward because he's scared of what would happen if Canyon was here. He was here where the ward was, so unfortunately that is his demise. Cuz was relatively nearby, but obviously isn't able to help out on the play. Keen is having a good time up here. 15 CS up, and now the teleport's been burned. Let's see what happens when he doesn't have teleport and he has to come back to lane.
Yeah, let's see whether Cuz is going to be able to get here in time as well to save this guy, as I don't think it's going to happen. Permafrost comes down. He is hopping around, but Slicing Maelstrom comes in. Cuz is going to look to try and get rid of Keen, and Mega Inferno Bomb's going to be able to lock it down. Who's the better Yordle? Right now, it is Bulldog. He is going to miss a whole bunch of his buttons, but that's fine. Quantum's moving over, looking to try and help Chovy out. Bouncing Bomb going to be coming on through, but the Honey Fruit should be eaten here as Chovy just going to dash his way out. Nice little Extendo Beam. Not actually going to be able to land it just yet, as Lehens was in. So nicely done here by the Kwangdong Freaks.
Yeah, and you know, with Chovy not having level 6 just yet, he can't really punish Bulldog there on the play. If he has his ult, maybe he can all in after Bulldog tosses his top lane, but they are able to save the play top side there. Dudu does have to flash, doesn't have his teleport, and is now running out of Mega Gnar. Oh, it was so good until it...
Lehens is pretty close to like being dead, but it's okay. The stun comes through, and now you've got Grubs that are attempting to be taken. First one is going to go over to Cuz, so he does at least secure that, but now Canyon gets in there. Should be able to grab the second two.
FaZe doesn't have cleanse, but they're just not confident enough that they have the damage here, even with Leaper having his ult, to actually commit to a play to punish him, while they know Lehens is topside. Now back, of course, but was for the moment topside. And so even though it's a really nice bomb there for Bulldog and he picks up first blood, they still end up killing the Gnar that was trying to clear the wave out so he can get that back. He is punished for it. And, you know, you look back at this play again, Dudu does not have Mega Gnar, does not have 6, but is able to flash the knock up here. And the Slicing Maelstrom actually stuns him on the edge here during his hop, but Cuz shows up and ends up healing extremely well. And then the Ziggs Bomb is there to punish. Really good set of plays here for Kwangdong, but he wants to shove this in so he can get it back and not lose anything because he doesn't have his TP. And unfortunately, Lehens stuck around. Keen is still going to be able to set up CC even without his ultimate, so bit of a rough one.
True Shot Barrage not quite going to find Pays there, who is able to get himself back home. He's ahead by just a little bit of farm, and pretty impressive that he is so as well, given the fact that he has been playing in a 1v2 for quite some time. Lehens just doing that Lehens thing where he just leaves his AD carry by themselves.
Man, this is really going to do some denting to Chovy's gold difference at 14 stats. His CS stats. This is the worst thing I've seen from him in a while.
Yeah, Keen in a lot of trouble. I've seen this one before as well, as Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, avoids the drill, but now Mini Gnar comes through. Oh, Dudu, good sidestep, but that means that Keen will live. Canyon putting out a fire in the top lane.
Yeah, at the same time, though, this does mean that this is going to help stabilize Dudu, as Keen does not have teleport, and the Gnar is going to be able to push this wave through. No way to follow up and punish him this time, as Lehens is back in the bottom lane, so Cannon can, you know, get back to the lane fairly quickly. But let's see what happens with Lehens setting up a dive now onto Leaper.
Yep, 2 versus 1. Grand Entrance is going to get the Arcane Shift out, as Lehens will just carry a turret shot towards Pays. Gets the Demolish there as well, as Quantum does make his way back. And now the ulti from Chovy is going for it, looking for the fight here. Gets the slowdown with the Extendo Beam, is now Bulldog going to be able to at least force Chovy to take a turret shot. It's looking a little bit dangerous, but both of them looking a little worse for wear. Should be fine on either side.
Yeah, finally the all-in comes through, but Chovy does not quite have enough, as Cuz wants to stop the spec. Not quite able to get into buckler range, but he does get the back off, which is pretty important for him, as
Yep, Zenith Blade coming down here as Cuz moving in. Uses the Steadfast Presence to speed himself up, and that means that he won't have that one to stop Lehens from being able to battle dance around, but just a little bit too far from the play anyway. Just going to keep his bottom lane safe. Quantum Freaks. This is much more of a game of League of Legends, though, Wolf. This is only 1,000 gold to lead for GENG.
It's definitely a pretty big lead in the mid lane with the kill going over to the Ziggs. CS advantage pays.
Yep, Captive Audience comes down as in goes Lehens, and this is not a 1v1 anymore. There's the curtain call as Leaper, he's just going to seal his own fate by pressing the R button.
Yeah, there's a bit of an animation on that one, as everyone knows. And, that does allow FaZe to guarantee the shot there, and this is going to be likely Dragon.
Well, there is also a kill on a Poppy angle, and that is going to come on through. So, as I was saying, this one's over.
Yeah, no, actually, never mind. Yeah, no, it's... we were so close to an interesting game, and then
we really were.
Man.
It's all right. Bulldog still has a lead. And
true. That's one place where it's not completely on fire.
Yeah.
Everything else is... No two other lanes are not completely on fire.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, touching distance in the CS for Leaper as well versus FaZe.
Yeah, it's CS advantage, cuz.
True. There you go.
Yeah. So let's watch this again because, you know, it's really greedy here. Leaper isn't aware that he's on a ward. Goes in with the arcane shift, and
Quantum went back.
Quantum also just is like, you're dead, man. It's GENG. Sorry. And I mean, true shots, and then he's completely dead because that first one slows him, and the second one is easy to follow up on.
Yep. Dudu is also just dead as well. That's a solo kill for Keen.
Yeah, I think we have to ban replays for the rest of the series.
Yeah, the context on that one is strange because I feel like Dudu was in an okay spot.
Well, I don't even mean just because like it's like we missed the action. It's just too painful, and also in this case we missed the setup, but it's also just like people are dying all the time. Speaking of.
So Lehens is a champion that isn't very happy about being into a Poppy, but Grand Entrance is going to come on through. Keen is very, very strong as Quantum misses the solar flare entirely. Good sidestep from Keen, though. But that was only ever going to slow.
Okay, so no one actually died there on GENG, but it looked a little bit dicey. The Poppy into Rakan situation was feeling pretty positive, but really nice knock up there for Lehens, and he wasn't really alone.
But also, there was...
the solar flare wasn't great, yeah.
Yeah, it's the grubs. They could have just, instead of chasing after some kills, just killed the rest of the grubs. Might have been a good way of doing it.
I mean, Keen also didn't have ult for the play on to Dudu moments before, so yeah, I mean, there was an angle. Speaking of angles.
Well, there's a curtain call. Let's see whether Leaper can actually avoid all of this, and the answer is no, and I don't think anyone could have. That was just too many things that looked like they hurt flying towards the young Ezreal underneath the turret.
Do you guys... Okay, hold on. Bulldog may also be...
Assault does not actually connect there, as Quickness is going to help out. Bulldog going to be flashing here as Chovy turns up. Mega Inferno Bomb might be able to line something up here, but not enough damage. The Ignite now ticking, but not actually going to result in anything at all. So that is just Bulldog being taken out as well. And now everyone has died at least once on the side of Quantum Freaks. GENG just making the rounds, making sure all these lanes are fine.
Yeah, the wave is just frozen against him. He can't do anything. He's not allowed to play the game. And he tried to, and then Keen was like, well, you know the reason why I froze this was so you couldn't play the game, and you tried to get it, and so I'm going to put you in the death chamber where you'll also not be playing. Over here, just a really nice play, and then Bulldog really trying to get some value out of the Ziggs, hoping that with the skirmish bottom side, maybe he has enough of a leash to actually go for this. He doesn't. Chovy also comes up. Good flash from Bulldog, but he still ends up getting all into here. Has the barrier as well to absorb a lot of this damage, and that is that. Cuz and Quantum are both very tanky, and Chovy can't tank the turret anymore, so does have to leave. But what I was going to say before that last fight, and hopefully we'll have a breath here before GENG strike again, was, do you remember the first episode of Pog State this season?
Yeah.
Where I said, what if GENG just trivializes the LCK? And you guys kind of scoffed at me, but I did warn everyone that this could happen. I did tell everyone that if they just become so good because they haven't even reached their peak form yet, and I still believe that, that the rest of the LCK might just be fighting for second, which was the other series we had today. It was very interesting.
It was.
It feels like we're living that world a little bit. We're not fully there, but we're kind of there.
There's also sort of, it's pretty stark when it's between these two teams. So I'll hold that thought. That is going to be Lehens getting punished, giving Leaper a kill here as well. That's actually a big deal as Cuz throws his buckler around. Projectiles being traded. Ignore the fact that the top lane just exploded. Keen is gigantic.
That's It's a first brick on a 2-kill Kennen, who is 40, excuse me, CS up.
Bulldog does not manage to find the satchel, and so Chovy is just going to kill him and dies himself.
Oh, 200 gold, the advantage for Bulldog on that play.
There you go.
Shut
no
down
more
gold.
bounty.
No more bounty. And Pays is going to get this bottom turret, it looks like, here, because they have 3 grubs, which is enough to help him burn this one down. A little bit pushing the wave, though, as Leaper is going to show up. Cannon goes down. Yeah, he's still just barely going to get it. And
yep, local gold comes
maybe
in
more.
as well. He might also be able to get himself a kill, as W goes wide there from Leaper, but Quantum, I think, should be able to keep himself up. Yep, able to avoid the deadly flourish. That is certainly good. We get themselves out. Quickness comes in. Curtains have been called. That is a dead Leona. Swings the sword around, but otherwise not too much happening there, as Leaper going to take that last bullet. Now Canyon's here as well, and his pet Rift Herald, and Keen's down here. What's Keen doing here? As that's going to be a Glacial Prison connecting. There is also going to be an inner turret being taken down.
Chovy also able to get topside here to deny the Gnar push, so they're not going to be able to really cross-map too much. I mean, Bulldog is coming up, though, and Cuz is here, so maybe they get this kill and get a turret. That would be, something. That'd be something back. But
how many yordles does it take to kill Chovy? It looks like 3. 3.
Yeah. Yeah, don't need the Tootsie Pop Owl or anything like that for this one. It's going to be quite simple. Now, they don't have a wave, so...
I didn't need an abacus at all.
No. I mean, you didn't need to, like, put your rocks down or count on your fingers for this one. I don't think it was pretty simple.
You didn't see, but...
oh, okay,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Well, I was, I was just focused on the very intense gameplay.
Yeah.
Over here, this is just Lehen's... he's recon into this composition, and as it turns out, that is very punishable.
It is.
Bulldog.
It's okay.
He's like, I'm going to go for the kill mid. And
he died. He's going to...
Shows the summoners and ult, on cooldown. This is what happens, in the interim over here. It's unfortunately Quantum just a little bit disconnected, and a really nice ult from Lehen's. Does have flash, but does not need to use it to connect this charm into knockup. And then Canyon comes down, so Leaper is like, oh, thank God I lived. Well, bad news is he didn't. And he saved his Arcane Shift, which is smart and good, but Canyon, he's one of the junglers who doesn't really miss the...
no, not as many.
And
We've had people having a lot of fun with Glacial Prisons recently. This was just Chovy dead.
He does clear the wave, though. Doesn't save the tower, but delays the take of that bounty topside. Gold's still pretty heavily favoring GENG, but at least they're getting some stuff back. The Ziggs is at 1.5 items. Maybe will eventually be able to set up.
I think we've been gaslit by game 1 thinking that this isn't a massive lead, though. Because this is like still
well, by
7,000
comparison.
gold. Exactly. Oh, man. I know exactly where you're coming from. As Quickness comes on in, Lehen's throwing abilities around, doing some stuff. Deadly Flourish is going to miss. And Bulldog stuck between the base gates, and there is a good flash to get himself out of the way. And it is a Cloud Soul. Oh, baby.
You ever just get camped by a Rakan outside of your base? That's
yeah.
The Jhin follow-up, though, is so long range. It's so easy as Quantum.
Oh, another Glacial Prison comes in, and that is going to be Quantum getting locked up. He is still Leona, so he does manage to tank for a while. Who didn't manage to tank for a while was Canyon, as Pays takes a little bit of a journey. The longest turret shot of all time is going to hit him, but it's not going to be enough to kill. An inner turret is going to go in the mid lane as well. So it's now 6 turrets to 1 at 18 minutes and 20 seconds into the game.
Yeah, it's not a lot of map left for Kwangdong Freaks, as all of the turrets outside of their base have been removed from the map. This allows you to make very aggressive plays like this one. This was before the turret was gone, but step up this far. Quantum is ulted. He goes in and actually buys a decent amount of time with his Eclipse, but unfortunately, not going to be much they can do after that. Cuz ults the Jhin away to try to delay this, but it still goes down anyways, and that means Keeper's Verdict is on cooldown, so... Yeah. Probably not too relevant, but unfortunately not the greatest usage there, but at least it delayed the take of the turret, and
yeah, something like that. Crypt Bloom has been completed here by Keen alongside his Leandries. It's a very scary cannon.
Yeah, he may, after this Gnar bar is done, try to go for a kill onto Dudu, because he's so big. Now the Gnar has been used, and he's trying to push this turret. Now, this is kind of tricky from Bulldog. He's going to try to satchel his way forward, get here as fast as possible, and try to bait this. Ooh, but Keen's like, nah.
Also, it's I think it's almost guaranteed money because I think this turret is down pretty low, as you can see in the bottom side. So it might just be satchelable.
Yeah, looks like that is exactly what he's going to look for. Wanted to maybe grab Keen as well, but Keen realizes what's happening and is able to get away. So good reaction from Keen. Still some bounty gold going over.
Trading that outer turret in the bottom lane for an inhibit turret in mid would be bad, but they are able to at least keep it alive for the moment.
Trading it for 2/3 of an inhibitor turret is factually advantaged Kwangdong for gold.
There you go.
There you go. Especially with the bounty. Whew, big.
Nailed it. And this is all part of the game plan, you know? It's go really, really far behind and then bounty your way back into the game.
Quantum is going forward.
Yeah. True Shot Barrage also going to get a fair bit of value here as Heroic Charge into the wall. That is going to lock down Canyon. Aftershock not quite working, but takes a while to kill him as it's 1-for-1. And the quickness value is revolting from Lehens. It's then just going to be an instant quadra kill for Chovy, who's just not able to get a penta because Pays has to finish it off because Chovy was dead. So that's going to be the ace, and Pays and Keen left alive.
Pays and Keen, the two of them, without Keen having teleport, will not be able to do anything huge. Not going to be able to two-man a Baron. It would be pretty funny if Keen just ulted the Baron and they tried, but we'll be able to push this wave in with a nice ult. That was kind of cheesy from Pays. Like, aha, now the minions will be denied by the turret. Maybe we'll take it out.
Oh, Quantum walking towards.
Yeah,
let's have a look.
Instead.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Because this is where you see a ton of value from Lehens, right? He's playing into the Leona, he's playing into the Poppy, but as they all advance into the choke point and use their buttons, Lehens has a really insane angle. Lenar goes down here for Dudu, and then it's just boom. Double quickness onto really key targets here. Bulldog is taken out. Leaper trying his best here to make sure that Chovy cannot penta, and at least he'll be able to get that. So small victories, that's what this whole game is about.
Let's listen to Chovy here.
It's the whole team.
I didn't even really see how it happened. We're going to go back to exactly the same spot. Is Canyon once again going down low? Is this another replay?
No.
Am I in a replay?
Lehens only has a few seconds left for his cooldown, so he's waiting to make it a replay. Hold on, just give it.
Got it. Okay, we'll give it a sec. As Keen is desperate to not make it a replay. He wants to be part of this one as, oh God! That wasn't even a fourth shot.
Yeah.
That was, I think, a shuriken.
Well, you know, Lehens got his ult a few 2 seconds late to give us the classic double replay situation, but it's up now, and they're on the Baron, and maybe a bounty gold situation here with Bulldog's satchel on this mid turret.
Yep.
Small victories.
There we go, nailing it. Ignore this.
Big victories over here by the
ignore this.
Victories.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that one. The inhibitor turret was also already taken in the mid lane. I don't remember when that happened, but it did. Pays also just back towards mid. We'll be able to clear that one out. Teleport to come on forward. And Pays not going to be resetting just yet. He already has his 3 items completed.
Can they end off of the Baron push with the lead that they have is the only question
Why are
left.
Quantum Freaks are sort of milling about the dragon.
Yeah, I think they might end here because Slicing Maelstrom is up. Chovy has ult. Lehens has ult.
And now Canyon and Lehens are over here, so they come back. So they will take the dragon. So there we go. More dragons for Quantum Freaks, nailing that. And Leaper is also here. The rest of GENG are distracted by the fact that they could just walk over and try and kill everyone.
They could. Okay, that was very close. Okay, that was also close. But let's see. Leaper, I think, might just be destined for death.
He might. Canyon going to be here as well, so it's not just Lehens. I think Lehens loses that 1v1. Pays is going to turn up, and that is a very, very dead Leaper.
I haven't looked at the... We're going to watch this again.
Oh, yeah, we need this audio. Listen to Chovy.
Specifically Chovy. Watch Chovy. Hold on, he's going to... Okay, so we can do this, we can do this.
When does he start calling for Penta?
Here we go. Considering what's happened to Waze and his Pentas so far this season, he's probably pretty annoyed with this one.
It was just, I love the reaction was like Chovy just going, oh, and then everybody else just laughing. Oh, man. You can tell that the morale is relatively high for GENG at the moment, as you can understand.
We can't say the same about Kwangdong, though, I wouldn't say.
No.
This series.
Especially not when you've got Pays approaching a Flame Horizon on Jin.
Yeah.
That's right, Quantum not going to be able to find too much. Pace just walks too fast. Heroic Charge also not connecting as Mega Inferno Bomb not doing enough. Didn't hit the sweet spot as now Canyon Able to reposition. Keen! Oh dear, he gets thrown back by the Gnar, but it's into the Poppy. And now it is FaZe's turn to attempt a Penta, but it's not going to work out. The pesky Yordle is going to be able to deny it. Now the curtains have been called, and none of the bullets are going to connect. But that is fine, because GENG are just inside the enemy base.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a second inhibitor at worst case for GENG. Looking like they might be able to get more as FaZe gets that big shot on the turret.
Yeah.
Chovy still has ult.
As Deadly Flourish Leaper is just executed. Quantum goes in to try and defend, but he was already dead as the Zenith Blade started going out, and now both Nexus turrets are going to be taken out. The Gatekeeper, Lehens here with a very large health bar, is going to just make sure that this Nexus is going to go down cleanly, and GENG, they're really good.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah, thank
Very
you.
strong team.
That was my poignant comment at the end of the game.
No, it was...
I often have those, Wolf.
I mean, we've only had, like, I don't know, what are we up to now? 12 series to showcase it this season.
Yeah.
They are, with this win, going to Worlds. They are, with this win, going to playoffs, which was never in doubt for anyone.
No, not even a little
But
bit.
now it is 100% guaranteed.
Mathematically confirmed.
I don't even know who to vote for this one. Maybe we just...
Be a Jin voter, like who?
Yeah,
maybe Kane.
Yeah, no, I'll be a Jin voter. That's fine.
Oh, maybe it's Lehens for picking Rakan in that
still
spot
winning.
and actually still winning and actually having a really good moment in the game.
He did get caught a few times, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't win everywhere all the time
Ooh,
on the map.
Canyon also hit ults,
He did.
and that was pretty cool. That hasn't been a theme this week.
I'm just a Jin voter. I think you can do whatever you want in this series, but man, GENG, they showed us some wild drafts, and they played fast and loose, and Chovy did not look great in the first few levels of the Zeri versus Ziggs matchup, but he looked very good after that.
Yep.
And
We're going to have to wait, by the way, for Lehens' 600th. He is very, very close.
Shocker.
599. Yeah, it's crazy. We didn't make it to game number 3, but there we go.
I do think, you know, for Kwangdong, this is a series you just have to ride a bet. No.
Best drive.
I think he's probably like, in the LCK, probably like top 50.
Yeah, how many players are there in the LCK? 'Cause
Just over 50.
He's definitely top that many.
Yeah, I'd say
yeah.
just over 50 players.
Yeah.
I'll give him top 50.
Best drive alone. It's fantastic.
For Kwangdong, I think this is a series you just have to write off.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot
don't think about it. This is like... CV Max needs to go full Little League coach and just say, like, guys, it's totally fine. Just, like, let's make sure that we learn from this and all that sort of stuff. Like, that's how it has to be treated. It can't be that, you know, you can't be really yelling at people for mistakes made in this series.
Because you cannot reasonably expect to be the first team to beat GENG. It's not going to be you. You're in a slump. You're struggling. And maybe there's a lot you can learn from this. Maybe you can break down a lot of the replays. There's a lot of macro decisions and some really cool clutch plays we saw from GENG. Even when they put themselves in a risky spot, they clutched out, like fights like this one with Lehens. These are the moments that you could study and learn from with your own tape and say, oh, wow, look at how they played this. Look at the draft they did. And there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to improve off. It's a wild game, and is it standard drafting by either team? Not really. There are some pieces of that, of course, but you take this as an L you already knew you were going to get.
Yeah.
But if this really puts you down in your momentum further, then I am worried about Kwangdong, but I don't think it should.
I don't know why Chovy pressed dash instead of just Q.
I don't know.
Because I think that was the Penta, but I don't know. We remember what he said as, yeah, we're looking for the Penta again. He's still very upset.
Calling for Ziggs.
They want to be able to kill Ziggs.
Set up the waves.
웨이브 많이 넣어야 돼. 야, 이제 앞이죠? 이제 앞이죠?
Yep, getting the Warmogs activated. Wow, man, he just died so fast.
Yeah. They're calling out no flashes and things like that. Just some standard stuff from Lehens. Just doing that thing where he stands around, and they were talking about whether they could get some more kills, but realized that the game is over.
That's some Jin damage. I think it's okay to be a Jin voter, you know?
Jin damage bar, like, I mean,
over
that's
1,000
over 1,000 DPM as Jin.
As Jin, yeah. Yeah.
What?
would
Maybe
those-
I'm not a Jin hater anymore. Maybe that has cured me of my Jin anti-ness.
Let's, we'll talk about, you and I will have a conversation about that after this. But that first sign that we talked about was like Genji doesn't lose. That sign says, would Genji lose? Like, come on. That's the new Genji sign. Until they lose, you just got to keep asking. Well, in my case, I'm pretty much not going to be asking. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they might go perfect.
Like I said,
season.
there is one match. It's the last one of the season. That's the one that's possibly up in the air. Otherwise, nope. Let's hear from the space on what they think about that particular topic themselves. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by Pace on the side of GENG, who just defeated Kwangdong to secure their 12th consecutive victory. Congratulations! Pace, with today's victory, you secured a spot in the playoffs and qualified for Worlds. So how do you feel? I didn't know we would secure it so earlier on, and being able to get a clean victory and being able to qualify for both Worlds and playoffs makes me very happy. Yeah, so along with qualifying, you were on a 12 winning streak. So how does it feel to keep on winning? I don't really care about the winning streak. I don't know. I don't really have any much thoughts on that. And with the solo POG, you have gotten 700 POG points and you are tied at the first place. And there hasn't been an 80 carry at the top of the POG standings until you made your mark. So what are your thoughts on this? It feels great to be the only 80s carry on the top of the standings. So I hope that I can keep getting more POGs in the future. And in Game 1, Chovy picked the very first LCK's mid Draven. So we noticed that he had a smile on his face. So what were you guys talking about? Honestly, being such an uncommon pick, I feel like that's probably why he was just smiling. I think we were just really waiting for everyone's reaction to it. To be honest, I don't really understand what the meaning behind his smile was, but I feel like I would have smiled because no one else has played it ever. And Pace, in Game 1, there were so many kills at 13 minutes, and by 20 minutes, you had a 12k gold difference, creating such a one-sided game. So what are your thoughts on this big snowball? So I think we were playing Ezreal and Zyra. As long as we're just scaling normally, I think it's just really hard comp to deal with it from the enemy's perspective. So that's probably why it ended up snowballing so hard. So we got a highlight ready. Not even 5 minutes into the game, you leaped across the wall for this kill. What are your thoughts? I think we just had a really good setup. I think at this point, because of my items, I was just so much stronger than the enemy AD carry. So I think we're just talking about the matchup and just like the whole situation about how I was probably the situation. I was just in a more favorable position. So GENG actually brought out new picks in both games today. In Game 2, we had Chovy's mid-Seri and your Jin to top it off. So was there any preparation before? I think there are other leagues that play mid-Seri, and I think we've always thought that mid-Seri is really good, and given how good Chovy is at mid-Seri, I think we were talking about maybe flex picking her too. And in the end, just looking at the comp, we noticed that it would be really good to top it off with Jin, so that's why we went with Jin. And so Chovy in both games played AD carry champions, the Zeri and the Draven, and as a skilled Zeri and Draven player, what do you think? How did he do? I think Chovy happens to be a really good AD carry player, but it was really disappointing that he couldn't get the pentakill. It was very hurtful, and it gave me a heartache just to look at that. So that means that he needs some work, right? I guess so. You could say that.
들어보죠.
So in the next highlight is the pentakill that Chovi's almost pentakill moment right here. Asriel's coming. Oh, penta.
굉장히 아쉬워하시더라고요. 이때 상황 어땠나요?
제가 또
You guys seem to be so disappointed.
되게
What was going on here?
제가 솔직히
Honestly, I really wanted him to get his pentakill, so
펜타각이 나온 거 거의 처음이었어가지고
it was the first time he got to a quadra kill. So with it being so close to penta, I think everyone was just so heartbroken.
좀 실패를 했습니다. 이 펜타
And the very end,
솔직히
you got your penta stolen. So what are your thoughts on that?
두 번째 제가
You know, the first moment was the first highlight was definitely a very good moment for a pentakill, but the second pentakill, it was maybe a little too forced, so I'm not too concerned about that one. So Pace, your gen is solid too. So what can't you play? And can you tell us how satisfied you are with your gen gameplay today? Out of 100?
100점 만점에 100점.
I'll give myself 100.
만족스러운 플레이였다라고 인정하시는 것 같습니다. 이제 현재까지 12연승을 달성한 젠지입니다. 어디까지 올라갈
So you guys are on your 12th winning streak. How far do you think you're going to go?
아직도 완벽하다고 생각하지 않아가지고 그냥
You know, we don't believe that we're perfect yet.
실수들 또 그런 걸 잘 보완하다 보면
Like every match we play, we have a mistake and points that we messed up, and we have to always improve and refine our play. So as long as we're able to do that, I think we'll reach that point. So any resolution in the future? I think with today we advanced to the playoffs and qualified for Worlds, and I really want to make sure that we don't keep our guards down, and I really want to be able to keep it up and keep it going for the future as well. And that's the end of the interview from Pace, and back to the space. Thank you.